All right, this is our last lesson of Unit 1. Woohoo! All right, we can divide integers. Okay, we can divide integers using repeated multiplication patterns and rules. So I've kind of got an interesting way to kind of remember this. And again, it goes along. These are like our rules. Same signs, your answer is going to be positive. Different signs, your answer is going to be negative. Oops. Okay, let's do that one. And then let's do this one green. So I like to think about it like this. If I have a happy person and I multiply them by another happy person, they're going to stay happy. However, if I have a sad person who is also with another sad person, they get to wallow in their sadness together. And because they're both sad, they're going to eventually be happy because they enjoy being in each other's sadness. So that's like saying a positive times a positive equals a positive. Okay? Positive times positive equals positive. Or negative times negative equals positive. Now it's it's different when you maybe have one happy person in the room and you multiply it by one sad person in the room, and they're just not going to mesh right? You got someone pumping positives, you got someone who's negative Nelly. They're not going to get along. So a positive multiplied by a negative always equals a negative. And it kind of goes the same way if you start with a negative and you multiply it by a positive, you're still going to end up with a negative, okay? Negative times positive equals negative. So anytime that the signs are different, it's going to equal negative. Now, I just did examples with multiplication, but these exact rules work the same with division. So positive divided by positive is positive. Positive divided by negative equals negative. So the rules are exactly the same for multiplication and division. All right, let's take a look. We've got a submersible, basically a submarine, he's chilling at sea level. Okay, so he's sitting right at the top of the water right here. Bloop. I don't know, they got like some type of like peephole thing. But they're descending, which means going down at 60 feet per minute. Okay, so they're diving at 60 feet per minute. What is the relationship to sea level after 3 minutes? Use a number line. So again, if I consider sea level 0, I'm going to start at 0. And then after 1 minute, I'm going to be at negative 60 feet. After 2 minutes, I'm going to be at negative 120 feet. And after 3 minutes, I'm going to be 60 plus 60 plus 60 is negative 180. Okay? So again, if I'm descending at 60 feet per minute, it's like taking my previous answer and adding 60. Repeated addition is multiplication. So again, we could also think about it like this. Negative 60 times 3 is equal to negative 180. So think about what I just said there. Repeated addition is multiplication. Negative 60 plus negative 60 plus negative 60 is the same thing as negative 60 times 3. So I'm just going to start, again, right here I have multiplying. I'm going to start by doing my distributive property and say 5 times negative 4. Positive times a negative equals a negative. Okay, so I know that 5 times 4 is going to equal negative 20. But now I have I have a negative multiplied by another negative. Negative 3 times negative 3 actually equals positive 60. Negative times negative cancels out. Those negative people cancel out and they become positive. So let's start with negative 48 divided by negative 6. Negative 48 divided by negative 6 is going to equal a positive 8. Okay? So I can double check. I say, yep, that's perfect. So I know that I'm left with 8, positive 8, multiplied by 2. You can't forget to bring down that 2. And of course, a positive times a positive, happy times happy equals happy. Find the average of differences in values of a Canadian dollar. So again, to find the differences, you take the Canadian dollars and you would subtract it from the US dollar. And it's nice because this table already gives us that information. Sweet. So we don't have to do it ourselves. Now, your rules for average, okay? This fancy word average here, okay? The general rule is you add them all up, okay? Add them all up and then divide by the number of data points or number of pieces. So if we look, we've got year 1999, that's 1, 2000, 2001, 2002, and 2003. So we're going to have 5 total data points. So I'm going to take my years. I'm going to take the difference. So again, I'm looking at this column right here. I'm going to take the difference, negative 33 plus negative 33 plus negative 35 plus negative 36 plus negative 29. And I'm going to divide it, because that's my formula, add them all up and divide by the number of data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of data. So we better go ahead and step 2 says add them all up. So 33 plus 33 plus 35 plus 36 plus 29 is 166, and we still have to divide it by 5. Let's do that. 166 divided by 5. 5 goes into 16 3 times. So I'm left with 16 again. Well, I know it's going to be another 3. I got the exact same answer. Now this remainder, okay, I can try to make it into a decimal. So let's go ahead, add our decimal points and bring another 0 in. And if I do that, I get, how many times does 5 go into 10? Well, it's 2. So our answer is 33.2. Says state the solution in cents, 33.2 cents. We don't have actual cents that are 0.2. So I'm just going to round down. This symbol means approximately, and I'm going to say 33 cents. If it were an exam or a test, I would tell you exactly if I want you to keep the decimal or if you wanted to round, okay?